That's something I have to remind myself, and I want to remind you. I know sometimes when you're looking at these stories and you're looking at these people traveling and you're looking at these people, these fun, amazing things. Sometimes it makes you feel away. Sometimes it make you wish you could be doing some of the things you see these other people doing. You ain't missing nothing. Maybe you're right where you're supposed to be. Maybe it just ain't your time yet. Or maybe that's not even who you are and what brings you joy and what brings you happiness. And you only trying to do it because you see everybody else doing it and you see how happy that makes them. And you thought it was going to do the same thing for you. But then when you get out there and do it, you realize it didn't do nothing but make you more miserable. Hey, what's going on, man? This is Will Z Tidwell with Speak Up Z. You're now tuned into another episode of Speak Up Z, the podcast. Man, the podcast where we talk about real things for real people. Everything from life to business to mental health and everything else in between. Especially trying to cultivate and build on that relationship with God every single day. But I have a quick word, man, when it comes to, anxiety, feeling overwhelmed and feeling like you're missing out on something. And a lot of times the feeling of like you're missing out or wishing you could be somewhere else that you're not or, you know, wishing that you could be more sociable. That's where the anxiety and all those different things and those feelings come from. And, the reason I want to talk about that is because in my city this weekend, there's a lot of different popular schools here are having their homecomings, right? I don't know, man. For some reason, every time I know homecomings are coming up, and all of these different people are coming to town. People that used to go to those schools, alumni, and, old heads, and just so many different people, man. And I start seeing all these people posting them at parties and posting themselves at this and posting themselves at that and doing this and looking like they just having a ball. When in reality, what I really know, man, is a lot of times, man, what we see on the internet on these people's stories, we look like they having so much fun and looking like they kicking it so hard and looking like they just having this grand time. A lot of times they just spending money, getting drunk and and twerking and sweating and loud and riding around town, spending money, eating good and just looking cute and looking fresh. And it's crazy how on the outside looking in from a lens, you feel like you're missing so. But if you actually go out and you actually start doing those things and you get around those people and you get in those environments and you start drinking and you start spending money and you start doing all this, you start realizing something, man. I really ain't missing nothing. But a lot of times that's how I feel. And for me personally, because I know a lot of these different people that I'm seeing kicking in and having a good time, the anxiety comes for me for so many different reasons. One, because that's so many people. I don't know about you, man. Being around so many people, it just does something to me, man. I feel like I have to be on point. I gotta pay attention. I can't really even enjoy myself when there's just so many different people around me, especially if I don't know them. And for two, man, this anxiety comes to me because I feel like I'm missing out on something. That FOMO starts to kick in, and a lot of times you want to do something about it. And because of that fear of missing out, you might even catch yourself stepping out of character, um, trying to go hang out and trying to go do stuff when that's not even something that really interests you. And again, when you get to that place, you realize I ain't really missing shit. This is what I was scared about missing. This is what I couldn't wait to come do. This is what's been on my heart to come. Like I said, in reality, nothing. And that's something I have to remind myself, and I want to remind you. I know sometimes when you're looking at these stories and you're looking at these people traveling and you're looking at these people, these fun, amazing things. Sometimes it makes you feel away. Sometimes it make you wish you could be doing some of the things you see these other people doing. You ain't missing nothing. Maybe you're right where you're supposed to be. Maybe it just ain't your time yet. Or maybe that's not even who you are and what brings you joy and what brings you happiness. And you only trying to do it because you see everybody else doing it and you see how happy that makes them. And you thought it was going to do the same thing for you. But then when you get out there and do it, you realize it didn't do nothing but make you more miserable. Maybe you're right where you're supposed to be. Maybe you're right where God wants you to be. Because a lot of times we try to force it and go against that, man, because again, I think we're missing something. You ain't missing nothing. Don't get me wrong. For the people that go out and kick it and have fun, and that's what they find peace and happiness in, man, more power to you. Going to the club and going to parties, and being around all these different people and all those different things. Like that's what makes you happy and it brings you joy. Who am I to judge you? Because you might say the things that I like to do for fun and that brings me happiness and joy. You might find that boring. You might find that's not good enough for you. It's to each his own when it comes to that. But overall, man, whenever I feel like I'm missing out, whenever I feel like I wish I could be doing what they doing, every time I start to compare myself to people, I have to slow down and have to remind myself, man, you ain't missing nothing. Just because your journey and your path and the things that bring you happiness look a little bit different from other people, that doesn't mean you're missing something. You're right where you're supposed to be. And so next time that anxiety and that FOMO and that just feeling like something is missing in your life starts to overtake you, I need you to remember that you're not missing anything. You're be right where God wants you to be. This
Hey, what's up? This is Will Z Tidwell with SpeakUPZee. And I just want to take a quick second just to thank you for tuning in to this latest episode of SpeakUPZee the podcast. And my only goal with this platform is to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you around all things life, business, and mental health, whether it's myself or me bringing on a special guest. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. We don't ask for any type of monetary gains or anything like that. The best thing you could do for us is just like and subscribe to the channel. Until next week, we'll see y'all later. Peace.